Hey guys. Um, so I'm going to let me go. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to show up or not, but I'm tired, so I'm going to keep talking. Let me see if I can click on webcam again. Okay, sorry. Anyway, it's late. I wanted to get this for any of you early birds. I wanted to get my recording done, so I may make mistakes. Whatever, roll with it because I'm tired and I'm not going to redo this. Another time. So anyway, okay, dystopian essay. These are two first really good handouts. I want you to take notes over these resources. Okay, take notes for you. That means, and so we're going to unpack the prompt so that you can kind of decide what notes you should take. Okay, so we're going to go to the dystopian literature essay. And so here's the essay topic. And don't let it scare you. It's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Plus, it's pretty much spelled out for you what the format looks like. So, dystopian literature vividly portrays a vision of brutalized or manipulated humanity. So, you're going to discuss in your essay, which means identify and explain the actions of the government slash society and the main character, who could be the active citizen, obviously the protagonist in your chosen literature. Additionally, you're going to identify the warning that you believe the author is offering society to watch out for. Like, for example, in Ayn Rand, collectivism, something, that kind of extreme socialism is very dangerous and very oppressive. Okay. Um, your essay should have specific references and or quotes from the text to characters, events, themes, and symbols. So, essay format. Introduction. You need to introduce the title and the author of your novel in the very first sentence. I don't want a cheesy hook. I just want the author and title of your novel introduced. You're going to have an overview of your plot. So you pretty much have to tell me what your book is about, but in no more than 3 to 5 sentences. Obviously, you'll introduce the characters you're going to be talking about. You're going to give kind of a basic idea of what the book is about. Um, this says, quote from the book that helps prove your statements. This can be optional. If you find a quote that you really like that helps explain the overview of the plot, you may add it, but you don't have to. And then your last sentence of your intro will be a thesis statement that introduces the 3 topics of the essay. So, the oppressive nature of the government or society, which means you're going to talk about the characteristics of a dystopian society, the role of an active citizen, and it'll explain that down here, and the warning the author is giving. So I don't know if you remember the chicken foot thesis, um, uh, but you your thesis statement would be, you would have the thesis here, and then these are the 3 reasons. So let's see here. So I paused it for a minute because I wanted to think this through. Um, you might start your thesis with something like this novel reveals the oppressive nature of a dystopian society. And then you might add another sentence, just kind of play around with it. We'll really look into that thesis statement when on Monday or Tuesday. But play around with a thesis statement or two to see if you can find something that I don't want you to say in this essay I will be talking about. And so I'm kind of, it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm tired. So play around with a thesis statement and then we'll talk about it. Um, but I think maybe starting off with this novel reveals could help. But I don't know if you're going to want to put all three of these things in commas like the chicken foot. So um, we'll talk more about that later. Okay. So in your second body or your first body paragraph, so body A, paragraph A, you're going to answer these questions. So in this, I've done these essays before, and it's interesting because now this is your topic sentence, obviously. So think of it as a race paragraph. So each paragraph has a different purpose in your essay. So they're not exactly all reasons. So they're different purposes, and that's okay. So, how does the government or society described in your book meet the definition of a dystopia? So you're going to have to find those dystopian elements and first explain how the people are deprived, oppressed, or live in fear. That's the why. So this is the what and this is the why. And then you need quotes from the book that help prove your statement and analysis. And then, of course, what it doesn't have here, oh, excuse me, is your elaboration where you make the connection as to why the quotes help with the why. And then your body paragraph B will be you're going to talk specifically then about the protagonist. So this is kind of a summary of the book, a little bit more than what you had in the intro, but you're focusing on the character's role and responsibility as the citizen of their world. Okay, so like obviously equality was the active citizen in Anthem. And then you can talk about the citizens' actions or lack of actions that had have an impact on the society. And then what are one or two positive and negative consequences of these actions? Um, and then again, quotes in the book. Okay. So these are going to be pretty large paragraphs, in my opinion. I would guess anywhere from 10 to 12 sentences. Um, by the time you use multiple pieces of evidence to support. So that's okay. Don't be shy about that. Fourth paragraph is the warning. So this is where you're really going to talk about what do you think that the author is trying to warn us about. And then because like dystopians, like this, I can't wait for you to read and to unwind. But in Anthem, nothing is completely far fetched. Is it ever going to happen? No, but it's not like, we can't see some of those elements, especially in, other countries. So you're going to support with quotes or examples from the book. To find a good quote that summarizes, try to find a good quote that summarizes the author's concern. Oh, I'm sorry. This is really important. Okay, and then your conclusion. You can summarize the main points of each paragraph and give some kind of concluding statement on what is to be learned from your particular dystopian novel. Okay, so requirements. Um, I don't want much more than 1,000 words. I know some of you can write like crazy, but it's probably going to be about 2 pages by the time you do all of the things. Okay, so especially when we're going to put in the 12 time. You'll do the new Roman font. Um, it'll be double spaced. Uh, it says that the essay will follow a 5 paragraph model, but in my opinion, if you have a really long paragraph and you just feel like there's a natural place that you can kind of, maybe you're talking about a different example and you want to create a different paragraph, that's totally fine with me. The essay should answer the question and also show some higher level thinking. Okay. So here's some more stuff about dystopias, okay, that I found that I just wanted to add here. Um, so really, besides the notes that you're going to take on dystopian, I would like to see some kind of like Cornell notes ish looking paper, where you have the capital I that's kind of off to the left of your notebook paper. You could even create something like that, some kind of template like that in Notability or Google Docs. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, you guys are gonna laugh at me. Whew. Anyway, um, so not for the notes. What I'm saying is when I want to start seeing that uh, as you're reading your dystopian book, that you're starting to put quotes. So maybe on the skinny side, on the left side of your notebook paper, you could write like, you know, a dystopian element that you find, and maybe you summarize. Maybe at the top, you you immediately summarize the book. If you're not that far ahead, that far into the reading yet, I encourage you to read. But I definitely need to see that you've taken notes over dystopian, and that you're kind of at least starting to have some organizational notes as you read your book. Okay. Sorry, this is long. See ya.